What's going on YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin and Litecoin. Right now we're sitting at a critical area for Bitcoin. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame. Right now we're sitting at $7,180, and what you can see is we're testing a previous resistance area that we basically have failed at about 3 to 4 times here. So the last time we made it up to this range, it was around April 12th. And guys, we saw a huge rejection there. You can see this massive volume that came right at this level here, and we sold off. So what you can see now is that we fought with it again. This is probably about the third or fourth time now that we are testing this $7,180. Now, if we're able to have a candle close up above this, then we could start making our way up to around that $7,500. I think $7,500 is the key area for us right here, because if we get over top of $7,500, then we could start running to around $8,000. And then it would be up around, we'd even call it $9,000, guys, we could get up to. But what's going to be important here is that we have big volume step in and we start having candle closes up above this $7,180, which I think is going to be very important for us. But what we were looking at in the last video that I did with you guys was this downtrend here. So we actually broke out of this yellow downtrend. So that's a benefit to us. That's a good thing. And now what you can see is we're finding support right on top of this $6,976 that we needed to turn into support. So that's a good thing. We're still trading up above this downtrend line. But what we're seeing here now, guys, is a little bit of a decrease in volume. So what I was looking at last night as I was paying attention to this on the 1 hour time frame, in a way it almost looked like on the 1 hour some type of head and shoulders pattern. So we had our big left shoulder here on heavy volume, then we had our head here on a little bit less volume, then we had our right shoulder that tried to push up again on even less volume, and typically, guys, you'll get a break to the downside there, but we held that support. And now what you can see is we're trying to get up through that $7,180, which is going to be key for us. So if I were you today, I would probably stay on the 1 hour time frame or the 4 hour time frame and really stay zoomed in here to see if we can start having candle closes up above that area, because then that could push us up to around that $7,500, which we really need to challenge. That's going to be extremely important for us. So this is Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, and what we're going to do today, we're actually going to work backwards. Typically I'd start on the 1 week and work in, but I wanted to show these patterns to you and show you how we're finally getting up above that yellow downtrend line, and we're going to work our way back here. So on the 4 hour time frame now, what you'll see, guys, right in this area, same deal, a little bit less volume as we're coming up and we're testing this area. So that's where I said the bulls really need to step in. This is a key area for us. Ever since we had this hammer on heavier volume, we made a really nice move. We broke up through overhead resistance at that $6,900, and now it's time for us to break up through that $7,200. If we can't get up above $7,200, what I'm going to look at is for continued support up above $6,900. We really need to hold that area, guys. We don't want to start dropping back below that. What I also want to do is throw on a couple moving averages for us. We're just going to pay attention to the 50 and the 200 moving average. So right now we are trading up above on the 4 hour time frame, that 50 moving average. So that's what I would look at as support, which would also correlate around this $6,900. Your 50 moving average is going to be at 6,912. So downside support, 6,912. Upside, we need to get over top of $7,187. We need to turn that into support. That's going to be very important for us, guys, because what we're trying to do is change that trend. You see right here in the short term, lower highs and lower lows were coming in. So when we pushed up through this yellow trend line, we actually set a higher high than what we previously had at that $6,800, which was acting as strong overhead resistance for us for quite a while there. And then what I wanted to do next was move out to the 1 day time frame and take a look at this. So on the 1 day time frame, so you can see right here, this green line was our support, 6,573. And we actually ended up putting in a bullish engulfing candle right in that area, and we closed up above this 50 moving average, which was important for us because, guys, basically we lost the 50 moving average. We had a candle close below it February 26th. So the fact that we did have a candle close up above it, I still would have liked to see more volume, but that's decent volume there. Up above that 50, that potentially could give us that next shot like we were talking about to maybe get up here to challenge that 200 moving average at about $8,018. So what I'm going to do is put in an alarm or alert. I want you to put these on your charts as well with me here. So we're going to go at 7,429. We'll have an alert, and this is going to be our upside alert. We'll just put it on the horizontal line right here. And then to the downside, I would not want us dropping back below in terms of the 1 day time frame here. We would not want to go back below about this 65, we'll call it $6,600. right there. And we're going to add an alert on that. And then guys, so now you can see we're in this little bit of a range here. So upside targets, getting up above 7,500. Downside, we want to hold that 6,573. But it was important for us at support here to put in a bullish engulfing candle, just like we did back in here. Do you see after we had our fall, we had that bullish engulfing candle, and that was enough. We had our candle close at about $6,400. That was enough to push us up to $7,500. So it was almost $1,000 gain once we had that bullish engulfing candle. And this one actually came on a little bit more volume. But overall, guys, we still have to remember that we're in a downtrend right now. Okay, still having those lower highs coming in, and that's why it's so important for us to get up above that $7,500. That's really going to be the key area for us. Remember this on the 1-day time frame. Guys, we're going to go into a couple indicators here, but if you get some from these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The like button's been itching for you as well. If you guys could scratch that a little bit, smack it up there for me. I really appreciate it, guys. It helps the stream, even if you can put, you know, have a great day, happy Saturday, anything like that. It really helps out in the stream. So next we're going to be looking into the indicators here, and we're going to go into my favorites. And I wanted to take a look first at our stock RSI on the 1-day time frame. So the stock RSI on the 1-day time frame, what we also had going for us here, we did have this bullish engulfing candle that closed up above the 50, and we also had our stock cross right there. So that's a good thing for us. That's something that you are looking for right there, and that would be that continuation that we would be looking for if we can continue to make this move to the upside. The last true stock cross that we had that I would really consider valid, because up here we were still in overbought territory, I would say would go all the way back to about March 12th, 2020, when we put in this candle right here. It was kind of a little mixture between almost like a harami candle, and this long day candle was extremely long, so it was almost like a bullish piercing pattern as well. This is an abnormally long candle. We went from $8,000 all the way down to about $4,500 in the matter of 1 day. So that's the power of this market. But the stock's looking decent right there. Next one I want to take a look at is our MACD. And with our MACD histogram, we were ticking to the positive. Now we're starting to go back up a little bit here. So we still are in bullish territory. We have not had a downward cross yet with our MACD from what I can see there. And then another one that I wanted to go into with you guys was our channels. Take a look at this. And with our channels, we're up above the middle band, as you can see there, but it's starting to get tight again. And when these bands start to get tight, that will show that the next move, either to the upside or the downside, is going to be coming fairly soon here. So we'll get that off there. But like I said, guys, for Bitcoin, we're going to look at $6,500 for support, and then upside targets, we really need to get up above $7,500. We get a candle close up above that, then we could really hit that $8,000. Then it would be up around, we'll call it $9,200, then all the way up around that $10,500, which would be very important for us. And if we look at trading view for Bitcoin right now, I want to pull this up for us. We'll go into our technical analysis, and what you're seeing on the 1 day, we have a 4 sell, 9 neutral, 5 buy. Moving averages, we have a 4 sell, 1 neutral, 12 buy, and then our oscillators is 0, 8, and 3. So things aren't looking too bad there. You can even see in the shorter term, we're getting those buy signals. It's more so the longer term that we have not had those buying signals yet, like the 200-day moving average, which is acting as overhead resistance for us. But, you know, guys, we have a shot here. This is the time. If the bulls are going to step in, this would be the time for the bulls to step in and start pushing us up above that $7,500. For me, it's all eyes on that area. I think that's going to be really important. So if you get some from Bitcoin, guys, smack that like button. We're going to move on to Litecoin next. And remember with Litecoin, one thing you always have to pay attention to, regardless of the patterns, regardless of anything that's taking place with Litecoin, it's all predicated off Bitcoin. And that's what's really going to play a factor for us that we need to pay attention to. And right now on the 1 day time frame, to get this yellow trend line out of here. And guys, if you can hear the noise from my computer, I apologize. Done the best I could. I took it apart yesterday, cleaned the fan, everything. I actually ended up ordering a new computer. It's a Lenovo, so I'm hoping it's going to do a little bit better. It's one that they said is really good for cryptocurrency, so that should be coming. They said May 10th, but I'm hoping it was on Amazon Prime. I'm hoping I'll get it a little bit sooner than that. But bear with me with the noise there. But in terms of Litecoin on the 1 day time frame here, we're at $43.15. We're up 2.25, and what we're running into is this 50-day moving average. So for us today, we have not, for Litecoin, closed back up above that 50-day moving average yet, and I think that's going to be important for us. But we did put in a bullish engulfing candle right at that area around that around that $41 range, which we needed to hold, and the bulls stepped in there. So that is important for us, but we need to get up above that 50. I don't like having that pressed down upon us, and it's pressed down upon us since February 26th. So it's been some time. So once we get a candle close up above that, that may be enough to start pushing us up into these higher areas to where maybe we could back test that 200 moving average at $52.75. And with the halving coming up, you know, guys, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to have a massive pump just a week before it. I don't know if we're going to pump after it. I don't know if we're not going to pump at all. Things are different in the world right now, and I know everyone just wants to go off the history of Bitcoin, and each time around that halving, there's a massive pump. But we have to be aware because things are different right now. And then we're going to get into the 4-hour time frame for Litecoin. 4-hour time frame for Litecoin, and this is why it's a little difficult, guys. We're just running into resistance areas. So first resistance is going to be at 43.46. Now, if we can get up above 43.46, then what we can do, we could run to about this 46.43. So that might be a decent little trade if this turns into one of those flag patterns. You can see we had the sharp move. So this was a sharp move up, and now we've kind of been moving sideways. And what we need to do is break up above that 43, guys, about 43.46. And if we can do that, we could get a nice little run. Because what I like to do, I like to put my percentage range on here. We'll take a look at this, and we'll go up. So my target would be almost 8% from where we're at right now if we were to move to the upside. To the downside, what we need to hold is $41.79. I think that's going to be a big area, and also that $41.04. And what I do in terms of, guys, planning my trades and everything, just to show you on here, people who are still with me. So in a long position, say you were to enter a long right now. I'm not in a long right now, but you say, all right, this is looking good. You jump in and you look at your risk to reward. So my target would be up to the top of this, and then I would have the 50 moving average go a hair under that. Even would be my target because I would be anticipating this to move to the upside if I was playing along there. And then we would look at this and we have a risk to reward of 2.13. For me, that's still not enough. All my books, technical analysis books, say you're looking for that 2 to 1, but I like to even get that 3 to 1, which we could even go farther than that. If we get over the top of this, you could drag your target up a little bit higher to that $51, and then we'd be looking at a 4.7 in terms of risk to reward. And you could bring this down as well a little bit, even below that $41, in case we do come back and bounce off that, and that would change your risk to reward to about 2.62. But we're going to have to watch this today and see if on the 4-hour time frame we get a candle close up above this resistance area of around that 43.46. Next, I wanted to go into a few indicators with y'all. But in terms of the 4-hour, we're up above the 50, we're up above the 200, so that is showing that uptrend right there. Now, in terms of indicators, I wanted to look at a volatility stop with us and see if it's pretty close to the areas that I was giving you. I don't know if you've ever looked at this before. Let's see. I wanted to show it to you. This is pretty cool here. The books that I read, they talk about how you can calculate a volatility stop, but this actually does it for you. And as you can see, where our stop would be here is actually pretty close to where I was telling you. So right down in here about that 41.43 would be the stop loss area where you'd put your stop loss if you were going long, and then you can start targeting some of these upper areas there. But what I like about the volatility stop, it will go back and forth. And if you're in a downtrend, it will show you where you'd put your stop for a short. And then when you're in an uptrend, it'll show you where you potentially could put that stop for a long. It's going to calculate all the volatility for you. So I think that's something that's really important. And then let's move into the 1-hour time frame to really get a close-up look on this. Because, guys, things are getting tight here. As you can see, this is the overhead resistance right here. We'll put in a line. I'm going to be watching this today about right in there. Now, typically, whenever you fall so hard and so fast, you can make it up on the backside. It's almost like a gap or a window in the stock market. It doesn't always have to happen, obviously, because we're waiting on Bitcoin here as well, and whatever Bitcoin does, it's going to do, and that will affect the market. But, guys, a lot of the times when you fall real hard, you see over here where we pumped real hard fast, we fell real hard fast. So if we can get up over top of some of these areas here, that 43.74, we'll call it, then we really got a decent shot to start running up into some higher areas here and maybe tackle that $47, which would be good. And then in terms of indicators, wanted to throw one more on here for us. We'll take a look at our RSI. All right, so RSI is at 68 right now, and this is something else that you want to pay attention to. So typically when you get up to these resistance areas, you don't really want to be in overbought territory. That can show you that we may have a little bit of difficulty in here. But the thing with crypto, it's a little bit different. The RSI, you can run into the 80s, you can run into the 90s. Things can really get overextended. So this is where a lot of times I like to just go off price action. But as you can see here, we're getting that stiff resistance area on the RSI as well. So I would draw that line right there, and you can see. So typically when you run into resistance, you're higher on the RSI, and if we start to have a bearish candlestick pattern, then that would show you maybe that's not the time to go long. You'd want to wait for some type of candle close, and that's what I like to do, guys. Still, I'm out of a position. I'm just patiently waiting. I'm really stocking Litecoin and Bitcoin here, and I want to see what we're going to end up doing. But in this space, guys, you got to be so careful of the pump fakes, the false breakouts, all that type of stuff. And that's what you really need to be aware of, because like I've talked about in this market, you know, I'm not a magician. I don't have a wizard's hat. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen. There's so many fake outs and fake breakouts and everything else, but I try to go off the technicals the best that I can. It's been successful for me, but right now that's what I'm looking at. I want to see us get up above that 43.74, have a candle close up above that with volume, and really start moving. If we're going to make a move to the upside, to the downside, I want to stay up above that $41.04. So if you guys get something from this, you learn something as well, let me know down low. I'll try my best to get back to the comments today or tomorrow. We're going to try to put up a little swing set for my son in the backyard today, so maybe preoccupied by that. But, you know, guys, just let me know down low. I appreciate you being here with me today. God bless you all. Take care.